Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Donovan's Daily Dose. I'm your favorite APUS history teacher, Mr. Donovan, and today we're going to go over the British colonial regions. Now, this will suit you real well for period 2 of the APUS history curriculum that goes from about 1607 to 1754. So let's start with a little bit of background. The English tried to get in on the colonization game of the Western Hemisphere going all the way back to the 1580s. And after a failed attempt at a permanent settlement in Roanoke, just off the coast of North Carolina, they try again and they have success when they set up their first permanent settlement in North America called Jamestown. Now, this is in modern day Virginia, and this kicks off the development of 13 British colonies. Now, the way the historians like to organize this is into 4 different colonial regions. Let's start first with the New England region. So, as you can see from the map, the New England region is predominantly the Northeast, or what we would call the American Northeast today. And as you can see from here, a lot of the products that they make are things that deal with like whaling or timber or fish. And there's not really much cash crop development. And that's largely because New England doesn't have the geography and climate for it. They have very short growing seasons in comparison to the South. They have a more rocky terrain in comparison to the South. So the New England region is going to focus on these types of things that you see on the map instead of cash crop development. Now, as we work our way south, here's a map of the middle colonies. Now, the middle colonies are going to be known as the breadbasket of the 13 British colonies. That is because they are going to produce a lot of things like wheat, barley, and oats that provide foodstuffs for the rest of the 13 colonies. Along with this, next, a little bit further south, we have the Chesapeake colonies. And as you can see from the map, this is referring to the colonies of Maryland and Virginia because of their relation to the Chesapeake Bay, that geographic feature there shown on the map. And the biggest product that you have to know for the Chesapeake Bay area is going to be tobacco. Tobacco makes Jamestown viable, profitable. So that tobacco cash crop is going to be vitally important to the Chesapeake region. And then last but not least, rounding it out, we have our southern colonies pictured here. And as you can see, they also have things like tobacco, but they create rice and indigo and other cash crops because they have a longer growing season and because they have a more fertile soil than the New England regions. They are much more focused on cash crop agriculture. Now, as you can see, some of the products and resources made in the regions are different, but there are a lot of similarities between all 4 of these regions. For example, when it comes to economic similarities, all 4 of these regions participate in the mercantilist system. So this visual helps you to understand it. Now, the mercantilist system is an economic system used throughout the era of colonization, not only by Great Britain, but other European countries as well. And the goal is to gain as much resources as possible because at this time, wealth for European countries especially is determined by access to natural resources. So what they do is they set up the colonies to exist solely for the benefit of the mother country. So the 13 British colonies that established these colonial regions we're examining, they exist to provide natural resources to Great Britain and to buy British manufactured goods. And that's what we see here in this graphic organizer. So all 4 colonial regions are expected to participate in this mercantilist system where they send raw resources to England. There, they are made into manufactured finished products, sent back to the colonies, and sold in colonial markets. Now, this is not the only similarity between all the different colonial regions. All of them are put under this system of salutary neglect. So this deals with colonial politics. So the British Parliament and King remain relatively hands-off in terms of governing the 13 colonies, and they allow them to establish their own local colonial assemblies in which landowning white men get the right to vote for people to represent and make taxes and laws for them. One of the earliest examples of this will be the House of Burgesses seen in Virginia. But throughout all 13 colonies, they will have colonial assemblies. They will have governments and laws made by people who live in the colonies. Now, obviously, after 1754, this is going to change, especially after the end of the French and Indian War. But from 1607 to 1754, the British Parliament and King remain relatively hands-off in creating new laws. The only exception really to this is the Navigation Acts. And the Navigation Acts of the 1650s and the 1660s are really just meant to limit colonial trade. They don't want the 13 British colonies trading with any other European countries. These Navigation Acts pretty much forbid that. But when it comes to implementation of taxes and laws and other things like that, it's left up to the colonial assemblies. So throughout these 13 colonies, they developed their own political systems, and a lot of them are based on Enlightenment ideology and the rights of men. So all this helps to shape the four different British colonial regions. Make sure you like and subscribe, check out the rest of the videos, and have an awesome rest of your day.